energy prognostics for this 13 days. So this 13-day cycle begins on August 12th and it goes all the way until August 24th. So it like carries us through the main bulk of the middle of August. And so I will begin with the inner calendar chart, and this begins from the continuation of the last inner cycle, which is the storm. So we're still going through the storm in the inner self, which is still continuing to focus on all of the different adjustments and upgrades that we can do to our environment and to our home, to our beautiful room, to the way we present ourselves to the world, the way that we are being able to bring together both our profession and our lifestyle, so that if we are nature people, then we can work with something that keeps us close to that which empowers us, which in that case would be nature. Or if we were, home people, to be able to have a job that facilitates us being able to also cultivate our cave and cultivate our temple, and being able to be with our family or all alone, depending on the kind of lifestyle we want. And so the idea of the storm is that it has to be a lifestyle that is specifically catered to you and designed by you. So with this energy of the storm, we are writing it, and on August 19th it finishes with the frequency of the monkey, and the monkey is a completion to this energy of transformation that is asking us to really allow for all of our wild child, inner child, beautiful spontaneous curiosity, and all of the amazing ways that we can navigate through creativity and get to know amazing people that might be really fun and nice to connect with. And so this energy of the monkey comes together with the storm to be able to close the cycle in a fun, curious, spontaneous way. And it also tells us that in order to really revamp our world in a way that makes us very happy and is very fulfilling for us, we need to connect with our fun spunkiness. We need to be able to bring in lots of amazing elements and be curious about the stuff we may yet find that we like maybe, like you end up finding that you actually love fish, and that fish are really soothing to you, and you get yourself some beautiful little tank of your beautiful fish, and maybe you decorate it beautiful and it's in a really amazing part of your room, and at night it creates this really beautiful glow, and that might be something that for somebody might be really pleasing, and you maybe would not have noticed that did you not explore all different avenues and all different things that you find interesting. Or in other ways it might be just stuff you know nothing about, but that still makes a difference. And so this means that in order to really jump into the energy of the storm and use all of our potential for being paradoxical and contradictory and doing all kinds of different things that make no sense to be together from a dualistic, separative point of view, but from the inclusive, powerful point of view of the storm, we need the innocence of a child. We need to believe in magic. We need to be optimistic. We need to be able to look forward to what's coming and be able to bathe ourselves in spontaneous curiosity, so that we can really begin to truly craft the world that will happen only if we dive into magic and not just grab the little pebbles that are inside my little circle. So for the storm to really to work, it has to be navigated with the mind and beautiful openness of a child, so that we really are expanding our world into embodying the full glory and powerful scope of really what we can do here in this world, when we begin to treat our environment as an extension of our being, but obviously with love, attention, all the amazing things that are so good for us. And so after August 19th, we begin on August 20th the cycle of the human in the inner self. And so this human energy during the inner self period is really amazing, because it brings us into the full-fledged personal adventure. So this is a time of intimate personal connection with adventure and being able to connect with all of the amazing aspects of life that come when we are exposed. This is like gypsy energy, so it's kind of like your home is wherever you lay down your hat, and that's where you lay down and you sleep and you wake up, and that's your home, wherever it is that happened to happen that night. And so with this energy of the human, we're meant to really dive into being able to be courteous and diplomatic and kind, and really be open to connecting with people. And this is in the inner self, so this is intimate connection. And so it's an interesting combination because the human is global, and so it pushes us out of our, you know, tiny little 3-block radius or whatever, into this more expansive, global, cross-cultural way of really down to earth in the style of the journey, and not so much of the tourism travel. And so this journey asks us to always be in the present moment, and therefore we cannot be collecting a whole bunch of stuff and bringing it with us for the ride. And this stuff cannot be physical possessions, but it also cannot be ideologies and different ways of deconstructing reality or making it fit into a box that suits our previous experiences. Because the road is so unexpected. Even if you didn't have the opportunity to go on a trip and be connecting with all these different towns or cities or whatever, you can still have an amazing adventure time just in your neighborhood. You know, if instead of just walking out the road and being like, yeah, I'm just going this way, I've gone this way 500 times, now I'm gonna turn this way, I'm gonna turn that way, you could adventure into going a different way every time. And maybe when you go, you buy one day something over here and something in the other store and something in the other little store, just to actually check in and be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're in my neighborhood, you know, and what do you do, or whatever. And so the energy of the human that we're journeying through this cycle from August 20th until the 24th, so it like takes us into like the end of this little cycle forecast. It's like just asking us to really connect with humanity, connect with ourselves, connect with the children, the adults, the grown-ups, the poor people, the rich people, all kinds of people, in just natural, non-pretentious ways, you know, offer them a biscuit and some tea, and just get to know people and open up. And it's also the time when the biggest ally of the human are medicinal plants, because the human is the one who walks on the woods or on the countryside and wildcrafts and picks all the beautiful herbs and plants for cooking, for medicine. And so this period of time also has a really deep connection with the medicine of plants, and being able to commune with them and have them give you messages, and being able to make a little bundle of mugwort and put it under your pillow with like some lavender or whatever, or making teas. And also you can make your beautiful healing salves with your tinctures and your beautiful beeswax and coconut oil. And so this is a little bit of like alchemist, apothecary type of energy that connects just a simple human with its simple medicines in a simple way, with the beautiful medicine also of connectivity and sort of like global family energy. And in the outer self, throughout this cycle, in the beginning of the cycle, which is today, August 12th, we actually begin the energy of the monkey. So right now the two calendars are in a really interesting relationship to each other. This relationship changes every 4 years because the calendars shift alignment every leap year. So on the whether there's a February 28th or 29th, it makes a difference, because one calendar sort of like shifts with the other on that day. And so it's kind of intricate, and maybe I'll explain it in another video. But for now, all you need to know is that the two calendars are aligned in a particular alignment, and that when we are finishing the storm cycle with the frequency of the innocence and the monkey, and so we started like on August, in the middle of August, we began the cycle of the storm, and then we come, I mean in the beginning, we come into, then in the inner self beginning the cycle of the monkey. So it's like what helps us to sort of like close a cycle all of a sudden is what is being born and the intention that's being set in our inner being. So it's almost as if our outer world is sort of coming to terms or manifesting or working with energies that then bleed into our inner world and empower the things that we are manifesting. So in a way we're really being influenced by what is happening collectively in the decisions that we're making intimately. And even though our personal journey also obviously affects the way things are happening, I guess right now in a way our collectivity is really, you know, I guess we might be just really connecting more with one another, and so that we're really working hard on the collective dream, as well as that prompting a lot of the things we want to do for work that may affect how we continue to collectively create that outer dream. And so in this monkey energy in the inner self is the time for our work to start researching and exploring things for no reason, just for the sake of bringing fun and bringing play and bringing different opportunities and alignments. And so there's a lot of ways that we need to just really forego the over-domestication and the different ideas of how success looks and how we are supposed to work, or the way that things are done, and all the systems and the different platforms and the typical traditional thing. Like, this is like about brand new, innocent, amazing creativity arising out of our pure freaking excitement. No, so it's like, ooh, I wonder about that, and I'm gonna go and check it out, and just really going and experiencing it and being like, wow, 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 and ooh, and that brings us back into life is amazing, life is wonderful, wow. And yes, sometimes some things ends up biting you, or something burns, or something doesn't quite fit right and it's actually kind of scratchy and gotta get it off, but it doesn't matter, because the whole experience of exploring and tasting and checking it out can be brought into maturity. And so we don't need to be like tasting each other's shoes, but we can definitely dive into talking to one another and connecting and being able to invite each other to do things and just really expand our co-creative cycles and circles, you know, to be able to connect with lots of different people that are doing really exciting things, and not try and stick too much to just our group of friends, but to really expand into connecting with all kinds of people in all kinds of scenarios and do unexpected things. Yes, follow your intuition, be safe, whatever, don't go with some creepy stranger, but still, you know, like, you don't have to give people your bank account information for you to be able to talk to them and see if you can do some cool stuff together. So in the outer self, this cycle is absolutely about really letting ourselves with our profession just step out of the line. Like, even if you were just a pediatrician and you have your doctor's office and you have like your charts and all your stuff and your desk, you could still be like, hey, I'm a pediatrician, I'm gonna make it awesome. And you can put like palm trees in there and fun music, and you can have like the fish tank with little fish and make it like Caribbean themed or something, and just make it fun for yourself, obviously, but also make it fun. You know, if you're already connecting with children, then just have fun. And also, if you have some serious thing that cannot have fun in such a ridiculous, childish way, you could still do fun in all kinds of ways, by simply being unusual, by using art in a different way, by doing different arrangements, different alignments. It's just about being totally innovative with yourself and really letting yourself play with the things that you have, knowing that just because I move my couch over there and all these things, that doesn't mean I cannot put it back if I like it better how it was. But you never know what awesome things you will find whenever you try something new. And so the biggest empowerment that we get here is by traveling and going places to co-create with other people. So even if you only went to the village half an hour away, still going there and going to see, you know, like, say I'm starting my little farm and there's a permaculture person over there that's a good teacher and that is also starting his own place and he's doing some awesome work, and I can go over there and see what he's doing and then be excited and inspired and tell him about what I'm doing, and then maybe he will be able to come over here, or I can at least bring a video when I go there. And so then we can just get feedback on each other and maybe decide we can collaborate on something, and that's going to be amazing because it will affect me, my work, everything that is happening. And so this is a perfect time to not be discouraged just because you don't have the time or the money to go far away and go see some awesome project somewhere, but you can still connect with people in your neighborhood or people in close by towns to be able to just not be too attached to your community, not be with the blinders on by only being in your 2-block radius, but really expanding beyond that and going and networking with different people. And this also requires that you delegate. And so even though we are in this kind of like innocence, inner child frequency, this doesn't mean that this is like a mindless cycle where we're not supposed to be practical and efficient and put things together. And so this energy of being empowered by the travel and the co-creation and the objectivity is also bringing us into needing to delegate responsibilities better. So having someone to walk your dog so that you can get away for, you know, the weekend, or having someone that is gonna come over and help with some things so that you can get other stuff done. Hiring someone to do your website, or hiring someone to help you with the graphic design of your whatever, or simply having someone come over and cook you meals while you're getting some really important work, just so that you can really be fluid in your efficiency. And so this monkey cycle could be all about innocence and childlike beautiful wonder, and yet at the same time it requires organization, it requires planning, it requires really letting go of the people that you're attached to and being willing to step outside of your bubble. And all of this comes to an amazing transition through needing to harmonize our mind. And really this is totally opposite of this frequency. We really need to find harmony through this cycle by taking some time away from everything and everyone and having a little meditation nature time and silence and stillness. And that can sometimes feel really like how am I gonna do this when I'm like delegating and creating and going to parties and meeting people and doing all this stuff. And well, how if this is like a cycle that is hands-on and getting things done, and then how am I gonna have time to be able to go and take a break from everything and everyone? But I guess even if you were at the weekend having barbecue at some people's house, you could still walk outside and walk down the neighborhood and find a little park and just sit there for half an hour while everyone's back there eating and drinking. And in that moment you could just take off your shoes and just really feel the sunset and connect and, you know, just breathe and relax. And then you put your shoes back on, or you walk with them in your hand all the way back to your friend's house, and you come in and, you know, you're just in a different frequency. You would probably be able to talk much better with people, or maybe you'd figure I gotta go home, but it doesn't matter. The thing is that there's a deep, beautiful mystery that awaits for us when we're able to go out and be with people and collaborate and create and, you know, delegate and be all involved in this social creativity thing, and at the same time stay in integrity and get away and connect with yourself and still making time to connect with nature, even if it seems impossible to marry the two things together. And so all that you can do is just know that there will be a moment that will present itself, usually in mysterious ways, because this is the way that the mystery frequencies I have found connect within the Mayan calendar. But you can totally just dive into the opportunities whenever they do present themselves, even if you don't know what you're doing or what it's going to lead to. And in that way, you even have more of an opportunity to keep running into unexpected surprises and have more joy and delight at all the many different ways that life can surprise you if you just step outside your comfort zone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this 13-day forecast. So much love, and have a beautiful, beautiful time.